big for them. No problem is too small. Things may all be going wrong, but you can let it stop for long. And Numberjacks are on their way. The Numberjacks are on their way.
If the puzzler's making things change from 1 to 2 to 3, anything could happen. You might be walking along with a bag on your back, and it would become 2 bags, then 3 really heavy bags. Or you might have a bowl of lovely soup, and it becomes 2 bowls of not very nice soup, or 3 bowls of horrible soup. Or you might have a dream about 1 scary monster, and it becomes 2 scary monsters, or 3 monsters. Ooh. If we don't stop the number taker, anything could happen. The number taker might take the 4 legs from a chair, and the 4 legs from the table. Or he might take the 4 fences of a field, and the dancing cow might go dancing off. And then the number taker might take her legs. If the shape taper keeps on taking halves of things, anything could happen. People would be left with only half of their favourite storybooks. And they wouldn't be very comfy if their beds were half beds. And what about the dancing cow? Half a dancing cow would only have 2 legs, and she'd fall over. And 4's not very good at being a person. If 4 carries on being a person, anything could happen. For a start, 4 wouldn't be very good at riding a bike. He'd be good at some things in school.
2 and 2.
4! But he wouldn't be very good at playing in the playground. And what job could he get? A racing driver? Or a doctor? Or a pop star? Not very likely. All this trouble with circles, we've got to do something, or else anything could happen. Wheels might come flying off cars and trucks. Pizzas might go mad. Or the shape japer might spoil a trampoline and make it too bouncy. If the number taker spots things in 3s, anything could happen. He might see 3 things here. 1, 2, 3. The 3 clouds. He might see 3 things here. 3 wheels. Or the number taker might find 3 things here. 3 flags. If Spooky Spoon goes on mixing things up, anything could happen. She might start mixing things up so creatures are in places where they don't belong. And a hamster can't swim in water like a fish. The dancing cow is happy grazing in a field, but a shark wouldn't be. The birds are happy flying in the sky. Oh, but the dancing cow can't become the flying cow. If we don't stop the problem blob, things could get even worse. You want about 4 sandwiches, and you can't decide which plate has got about the right number. So the sandwiches might start behaving strangely. Or if you needed about 3 plants, but couldn't decide which pot, the plants might start acting strangely as well. And if the dancing cow needed 4 shoes, but couldn't choose the right group, The shoes might go potty. If things keep getting put into boxes, anything could happen. There might be a snake gets put in a box. A very long, thin box. Or traffic lights might be put in a box. A very tall, thin box. Or a tree might be in a box. Or anything could happen. If Spooky Spoon keeps on making quiet things behave like party things, anything could happen. Your pencils might start playing musical chairs. And when the music stops, they might get broken. Or your knife and fork might start playing Pass the Parcel. Only they'd be playing Pass the Bread. Or the things in your bathroom might get into party mood. And what a mess they'd make. If the problem blob keeps stopping things being shared out fairly, anything could happen. There might be 2 bulls with 2 horns each. Then one bull would get 3 horns. And the other bull is left with just 1. Or instead of 2 cars having 4 wheels each, one car would have 6 wheels. And the other car would only have 2. Or instead of 2 clocks with 2 hands each, you'd have 1 clock with 4 hands and 1 clock with no hands. And you couldn't tell the time with either of them. That problem blob can make almost anything happen. Oh no, if all the traffic suddenly went backwards, there'd be terrible trouble. And if you kicked a ball, it would go backwards and it might hit you. Or, if time went backwards, people wouldn't get older. They'd get younger. If Spooky Spoon goes on swapping heavy things for light things, anything could happen. Instead of a hamster, you might get an elephant. Instead of a butterfly, you might get a cow. And instead of a goldfish, you could get a whale. That mop could get longer and longer and end up anywhere. Someone's nose might get longer. Or the dancing cow might get longer. Or a bike might get longer. Or it might get taller. And if we don't sort this problem, anything could happen. As well as your tongue, your teeth might pop out and chase you. And when you're warm and cosy in bed, you might get popped out of bed. And your whole bedroom might be popped outside. If the number taker keeps on putting a 1 in front of numbers, anything could happen. A racing car with 4 wheels might become a car with 14 wheels. 10 more wheels, 4 becomes 14. A glove with 4 fingers and a thumb, 5 digits, might get bigger. A glove for 10 extra digits, making 15 digits. And a crab with 6 legs will get 10 more legs, making it 16 legs. Far too many. If we don't stop things with 8 going wrong, anything could happen. If you were playing dominoes and you had a double 4, that's 8. It might go mad and spoil the game. if you played 8 notes, the instrument might go mad. Oh, horrible. Or an octopus with 8 legs might jump out of the water and chase everyone.